Jesus. What a pain in the ass, YouTube. And I'm trying to do this on a phone, which um, my fingers are big and fat. And I go to push the buttons on the phone and it hits the one next to the one I'm hitting. That's why people go, hey, learn to spell. It's like, screw you. Make a phone that doesn't have little tiny freaking keyboards. You know, that's why I use a computer. So I have a keyboard. You know? But I wanted to talk about the teachers with ropes. Teachers with ropes. Big list of people. Uh, the counselor of King David, 1000 BC. He hung himself. So this is a list. It's a list of suicides at the top, and it's a list of executions, and then hey Spencer. Yep. So it goes suicides, then executions, and then it goes to accidentals, like David Carradine. They call that an accidental. I don't know. You put a rope around your neck, you're pretty much intending that you might die. You know? But yeah, teachers with ropes, they're all hanging onto the rope in front of the car with, like they're, you know, he hooks the rope and it's going to drag all them kids down the road. um, but the teachers with ropes, people who hung themselves, and people who were hanged. And look at this list. Let's see. Let's go down this list. And capital punishment. That's an even bigger list. Saddam Hussein. Adolf Eichmann. Even Forrest Fenn's, the German guy, he went and visited the guy's wife. He shot himself. There's a lot of Germans in here, died by the rope. Irma Grease. Tojo. There's a long list of people who hung themselves. And you'll notice, right, going all the way down here, what do you see? Bullet points. Look at all those bullets. Look at all the bullets. There must be 1,000 bullets on this page. There. I got to mute immediately. Oh, you can hear that music. That's my my dead friend. Rocky DeAndrea. I'm gonna plug in the power on this one I'm using here. There. Boop. So it doesn't lose power while I'm on live. I tried doing a recording with the phone and uploading it. The phone I was recording it with ran out of memory, and then it didn't want to work. It was like, you stupid thing. I recorded 15 minutes, you know? So, yeah, these are all people. There's some guy, Indian Territory. There's in India, Gupta. But it turns out the first executions on here were in China. The first, all these, Fujian, Emperor Yang, the first execution by hanging were in China. And then we got accidental hangings. And of course, David Carradine's on here. Kevin Gilbert, musician, songwriter. Oh, see, same thing as David Carradine. Is here autoerotic asphyxiation. Accidentally hung themselves. Autoerotic. That's hanging yourself. That's hanging yourself to get off. You know, sick. I've never done that. Never. I heard about it one time. Back in about '95, I was painting a house with a friend, and the guy who owned the house, they were painting it to sell it and all that. But the guy that had lived there had hung himself in the doorway of the bedroom. And when you see the spot where, oh, this is where the dude hung himself, you know? 1906. They didn't really list many of them. The people who hung themselves, I mean, before the 20th century, if they hung themselves, it didn't make news, apparently. But I'm sure they did. Judas was hung. They said Forrest was hung too, but I think he shot himself. Yeah, a lot of Nazis there, and they all had bullet points. Judas hung himself. Oh, okay. Well, he can do that. But you know, he's just like some of the sellouts in the Fenn community that you know, like K-Pros, the Judas, tried saying that I did something I never did. Shelley, the Judas, I say the gypsies lack imagination, and she says, oh, Bill Gorman just personally insulted me. Moderators, get rid of this terrorist. Oh my God, I'm personally insulted. Who cares? She lacks imagination. They can't see the shapes in the rocks. That's a lack of imagination. Because they aren't just shapes in the rocks. It's ancient art that's almost disappeared due to erosion. Justin Pierce, British-born, American-born skateboarder actor. Why isn't there a picture of him? You can't get a picture from the movie? Stuart Adamson. That looks like, yeah, that looks like Jim Carrey. John Lee, drummer. Maury Travis. And who was it just died? It was one of them country western guys. I saw some tributes today. Was it Toby Keith? No. Maybe it was. I don't know. No, it was somebody. Issa Koch, German Nazi. She's the mother of the Koch brothers. Toby Keith, yeah. Yeah, cancer, I guess, got him. So we have teachers with ropes. The car is called the Bullet. And I'm going to do another video of how does my solution contain Moses, a bullet, a car. There's some other parts of it. Charlton Heston. I'll tell you, it's pretty simple. I dangle this right in front of the camera. Get off my hat. Right here is, let's see if we can get some, too much light behind it. But we can get light in front of it with something else. This is a NRA Charlton Heston Silver Bullet Brigade bullet. That's how we get Moses and a bullet go together. Charlton Heston is in the poem. Listen all and hear me good. Your effort will be worth the cold. I want all within the sound of my voice to listen and to heed what I have to say, especially you, Mr. Gore Man, from my cold, dead hands. The bullet, freedom, conquered bridge, freedom, the bullet, the shot heard around the world. There's a bullet point at the end of each chapter in the book. That represents the asterisk. The asterisk is the bullet point. People go, what is that little square? Oh, that's the treasure chest. No, that's a bullet point. Just like you got all the way down the side here, bullet points all the way down the side of the list. All the bullets. Even people that hung themselves get a bullet. Most searchers can go ahead and continue to be ignorant morons and not understand or pay attention to the bullets all the way down this list. I don't know how many is. I don't know how to count it, but this list just goes on and on. Capital punishment. You know. Epic times. Those were in the chase. And, okay, the bullet ends each chapter. The bullet ended his life. The two Omegas are him and Peggy. People don't give Peggy any credit for the treasure hunt, yet Forrest made it clear she was his partner. She just didn't know when or where he hid it. She knew everything else, but she didn't know that. And people discounted everything when he said she didn't know when or where. That doesn't mean she didn't know anything else. If you don't agree that doesn't mean she didn't know anything else, you got to be an idiot. You know? Yeah, a list of just dead people. Page reeks of dead people. So he had some teachers with ropes. What's another way people die? In their car. The Fenn School in Concord, 2 blocks north of the home of Captain David Brown, just north of the school is Carr Road. Why Carr Road? A car, hi Amy, a car, C-A-R-R, in England is a fen with woods in the wood. The wood in the fen. A fen is a muddy bog. So if you have a muddy bog, a place that gets soggy, it's a meadow. That's where I found the car, in a soggy meadow. There's little creeks running through it all over. You're zigzagging through this because it's a muddy bog, and it's in the woods. And it's at Tucker Ponds, which is tired and weak, which is below Wolf Creek Pass, which is no place for the meek. To take it in the canyon down, you have to go over the mountain. You have to go up that creek with no paddle. If there were people with real brains out there, most people, they can't put more than 3 clues together. They can't do more than 3. They can't handle more than 3. So I got so many pieces of this, and each piece is a confirmation. The bullet through Charlton Heston and Moses confirms the car is related to Moses. the car was a part of the family. the Because a Forrest Fenn is a car, and he loved that car. Yeah. I couldn't see how he sold that shit. So he talks about a Chevy, a Plymouth, Fords, but he never mentions a Model A. Whether he's talking about the F100, the Ford Model B, the Thunderbird, that's a Ford Model T-Bird. Suzanne Summers in it. The thrill of the chase, chasing that girl in that car. Yeah. Let me see. But I watch these videos on YouTube that are the police critical incident videos, and you see so many police, put your gun down, come out with your hands up. Guy pops out with his gun up, fires a shot at the police, and he's dead. I mean, it's suicide by cop. And it happens every day. Every day, somebody is killed by the cops. And it's not always the minority. There's a lot of hillbilly rednecks that get killed by cops too. And some people, they die for the stupidest reason. And you see some of them, like this woman, this female cop was out. She pulled the guy, and the guy's wearing like a suit coat and stuff. He's this young kid, kind of like Tyler. Hey, obscure. So this kid comes out of the store where it looked like a bus terminal or something, and the cop was talking to him, and all of a sudden the guy jumped at her, just like that one guy in the courtroom in Las Vegas. And well, that guy got sentenced, didn't he? And Redneck, I'm gonna be in Denver Thursday evening, Friday morning. I got a doctor appointment Friday. Gotta see the cardiologist. They check my coronary artery. Once a year, they do an ultrasound and make sure it hasn't gotten any bigger, because it's like close to needing work. I hope it doesn't. But that might be why the tips of my fingers are going numb and stuff. So I'll have to report that to her. But yeah, and you know, there's a lot of people out there have absolutely no respect for me at all. They don't give a shit that I have really bad nerve problems, really bad osteoarthritis in my neck all the way down. The doctor, we counted 27 bone spurs. We stopped counting in your T-spine. You know? And then that doctor, he did carpal tunnel surgery on both my hands in was 2006, 2007, up in Montana, in Helena, the VA. And when I went for my follow-up after the second one, the doctor that did the surgery had died. He had a heart attack. So, let me see. I'm gonna switch it around. Boom. Oh, gotta put this further away. I'm not on the computer, so it's on my selfie stick tripod thingy. Boy, that reflection blues up my eyes, doesn't it? I gotta get a haircut. Last time I got a haircut was in Greece, and gone. Just chop it off like that. So yeah, that's a big list of people that hung themselves and was died by the rope. And he was telling you, the part about jumping off onto the tree, off the cliff onto the tree. You can jump off a cliff. You can hang yourself with a rope. You can shoot yourself with a bullet. Hemingway, important literature. Hemingway killed himself with a bullet. Well, it was a shotgun shell. Same thing, It's a gun. And then there's F. Scott, the Great Gatsby, which is about a big party. Guy was having a great time and big ass party until he let this woman drive his car, and she hit and run, killed somebody with the car. The car was the bullet, and it ended the Gatsby. The bullet ended the Gatsby. Each chapter has a bullet at the end of it, a bullet point at the end of each chapter, and that represents the asterisk. The bullet is the asterisk. Yeah, I look like my cousin Mark Twain too. But and if you notice my little bullet video, I used my face for he'd be my sixth great grandfather, James Rogers. Smoke and Scan is live. That's fun. If you like to smoke and watch police chases, Smoke and Scan's a fun channel. I am alive. I decided, I've been watching it, and it's just piling up. And Tyler trying to pretend that he's been nice to me over on Jeremy's channel. I told Tyler, you just got your nose right up street and Troy and trusted butts. And to be up their butts, you can't like me. So don't pretend you do. When you put on that mask over there, and it's obvious that you're a little asshole, I used to say, well, Tyler's a little slow in the head. And I gotta respect that guy. Okay, you can only respect it for so long. And then you say, fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. No respect. You have no respect, so why should I respect you? You know better. That's one thing. They blame it on their mental illness. I should read this email I got from somebody. Searcher. I don't know if we know the searcher, but where is it? Oh, we'll go back here. Yeah, I got an email from a female searcher that over in the East that invited me to come by sometime. But and I don't know. I'm not just dropping in, so I got to know somebody a little more than just a letter. I want to see a picture, and who am I going? Because I don't want to show up in the movie Nothing But Trouble, or was it big? No, Nothing But Trouble. He's in that movie, Dan Aykroyd. Man, that's a wild movie. They get stopped by the police and take you to this corrupt judge who's has a freak museum basically, and these big old blubbered boys, they're just like these beluga whale boys or something, just sick. It's got a crazy roller coaster, and it's like a junkyard. Well, it's a crazy movie. Yeah. Yeah. Big Trouble in Little China is a good one, too. Um, oh, oh, yeah, the house. Okay, I asked the realtor how long. I need to know how long it's going to take to fix this title. And she says, I don't know, and I'm not going to give an answer for that, for something that I don't know. If you don't know, ask the person you supposedly have fixing it. Because they have to, I asked you to disclose this. If I asked for you to disclose something to me, like how long this is going to take, I mean, I was supposed to be living in that house last year. and because they listed a house that didn't have a clear title, I'm still living in my RV. And at this point, I'm planning on building the castle right here. I don't think that the house is going to go through. And yeah, I'll go after the realtor, the seller, the real estate agency. Because it's bullshit. I shouldn't have put up with that bullshit. Like I have benefits that I had to apply for in November, I signed up to buy the house in November. So I thought I'm moving at the end of December. I'm not applying for my 2024 benefits in Colorado, my Colorado benefits. I didn't apply for them. So I've already lost probably $1,000 in benefit, heat assistance, stuff like that. And it's because I'm supposed to be there and applying for it there, not here. And now it's like, okay, now I got to get caught up and see if I can recover a little bit, but they don't give you back. So, so I get screwed there. The lender sent the realtor an email today. We need to see evidence that this is progressing in some way. How long is this going to take? We need to know how long it's going to take. And that was yesterday. Monday, the loan company sent that to the realtor, and the realtor just ignores it. I got a list of some, I figured out what might happen. I called one lawyer. I don't want to call 10 lawyers, and I don't know which one's calling me back, I try to get one, and I think that they said they call me back. They never called back. Okay, now I'm going to call more. I'm going to call another one, try and get one that says they're going to call me back or talk to me. But maybe I called the same lawyer they have working on fixing it, and therefore he couldn't do the case. There are two separate titles to the same 1 acre with two different names on it, two different account numbers on them with the county, but they are the same lot description. And it's supposedly in the same family that owns it now. It's supposedly somebody they inherited it from, or another family member or something. It's all in the Jones family, which are my cousins, because my great grandmother was a Jones from Kentucky. I see the names down there, and it's like, oh man, they're cousins. I see Fletcher, Jones, Casey, Green, Rodney. Are you a cousin? Um, but I see relatives' names in my family tree that in Kentucky that the towns are named after them. As I told Jeremy, you're probably a cousin. If you're born in Kentucky, you're probably a cousin. They got a lot of cousins there. So, yeah, from what I'm reading, I've got an easy lawsuit for a good real estate lawyer in Kentucky, not Chicago. I don't know any good real estate lawyers in Chicago. I know a bad one. Yeah. Yeah. And I had a little, supposedly someone on, well, is actually somebody on Team Fenn that was going to help, said that they could fix it. And a week ago, the realtor told me, yeah, we wasted 2 weeks on him. He didn't do anything. And he was mad at me because I asked these people that got me in this bad contract to pay the extra costs it's going to cost me because I don't have a title problem. The lender doesn't have a title problem. And the lender says, if it's something that's not of our control, then you have to pay this. Well, what they're doing is not in my control either. It's in the seller's control. 100% in the seller control. And all the time in the world that it takes, that's their responsibility, not mine. And if they take much longer, the loan company's going to back out of it, and I don't have a home. Then I don't have a lender, and I can't start over because this thing is not helping my credit. You know, I put a charge. I put the appraisal on my credit card, where I was using 40% of that credit card. Woo, you know? Ooh, he's using 40% of that credit card. So what they do? They ducked my freaking credit score like 170 points. Criminal. I did nothing to deserve that. Though what they did was they saw I paid Veterans United, who is a home loan company. He's trying to get a home loan. Let's fuck him right now, you know? So when I get a lawyer, maybe I'll get one and sue the frickin' credit bureaus too. Bastards. Thieves are what they are. Control freaks. He doesn't vote for the guy that we want, so we're going to dock him here. We're going to dox him here, and there, everywhere. It's like, we all know that Toby's a liberal, Cynthia's a liberal, Ben's a liberal. These are all liberal. Even David, you don't bend over for the government. That makes you a liberal. Forrest didn't bend over for the government, did he? And Peggy ain't no Russian KGB hoe. Frank. That woman was like 5 years younger than Peggy. The guy is like 5 years older than Forrest. And there's now, if Forrest Fenn's birth record wasn't real, why did he have it blocked? And so that the genealogy sites won't share it no more, you know? because it was real, Frank. If it wasn't real, there'd be no reason to hide it, because it would have been something that was used to enforce that this guy's a, you know. But I one thing. There's one thing. Some people get information to use it, have information, and or to understand something, or to pass on an idea. But there are some people that want the information so they can bend somebody over and screw them. So I don't give away a name for who was supposed to be working on the title thing, and when I read things, I mean, it says I should have had a lawyer as soon as they told me that there was a second title, and I would see, I had trouble getting a realtor to go make an offer on this house because they thought that the house wouldn't pass the inspection. The house passed the inspection with flying colors. There was basically just a couple little minor things that needed fixed, which were no problem for the seller to fix. But then a week before closing, we found another title search. The loan company paid for the title search. And that came back that, there's a second title on this house. And then they can't make, it's like, I'm screwed. I gave them money. I set aside benefits here because I was moving there. And the frustration, the aggravation, the mental anguish, all caused by this bullshit. Yeah, I'm going to have a civil suit against the big real estate corporation. And, the realtor can't say, well, I'm not getting, the realtor is not sharing the information with me. And there's a thing, they can't be hiding, there's a disclosure before you make the contract. Yes, I've seen the disclosure, and yes, I agree to this. Boom, boom, boom. Well, the disclosure said that everything was good. Everything was just fine, cherry, no problems. No, we're the only ones. But they didn't list when they bought the property, how long they've owned it. That's not on the disclosure. And the amount, it's supposed to have when they bought it and how much they paid or something when they bought it. But they didn't disclose any of that. There were lines that needed to be filled out, and the only thing this realtor did was check the boxes. I ain't bought, this is like the second house. The last time I bought a house was in 2000. And then 2001, 9/11 happened, and it just killed the real estate there. The price didn't move. It was, it had to get out of there because they had me paying too much interest on it, and it was like $1,900 a month was too much. So I got out of there, sold it, and I did get $35,000 back from it, but that was because I put $50,000 down. So I lost $20,000 because it was more than, it was 50 and this and this and this, and closing costs, but that was a $250,000 house. When I sold it 2 years later, it sold for $50 less than I paid for it. So the work and I had to put a hot tub out on the back deck and I had the back deck reinforced with super, because these decks aren't, it's not made to help. I don't think it's made to, and I don't want to be sitting in the hot tub when the deck drops 10 feet. So I had a friend reinforce it with some 2x10s and stuff underneath the supports that were already there. And so it was super strong. And to run the power out to it. And I left that hooked up. The power box I left out there, but they didn't want the hot tub. I brought it to Florida and I sold it. I sold it for a $5,000 loss. But I had a rental on Yates Street off of Audubon in Merritt Island, Audubon Road, I guess it is, and then Yates. I had a canal in my backyard. There'd be manatees in the backyard. I had this. The whole back of the house was long sun patio, screened in patio, and I had a 21-foot Chris Craft with a Boss 302, a Ford Boss 3, a Mercury 302. Yes, because Mercury, because it's a Marine, Mercury Marine. Ford doesn't. There's no Ford Marine. It's Mercury Marine. And then there's pictures of Charlton Heston in his convertible Jaguar. The latch on the treasure chest is a Jaguar. Cat. It looks like it looks like the emblem on the Jaguar hood. Okay, and so he had an old car with no top too. Kennedy was in an old car with no top. Amelia Earhart, when they went into parades, they were in old cars with no tops. Charlton Heston was the star of Omega Man. Yeah, and I see there's five watching. Probably some of the brightest people in the chase. But because I don't think the stupid people are watching. That's what. See, they know nothing, because if you can't know about my solution unless you hear it. And right now, all the people that aren't watching are being ignorant. That's the description of being ignorant. I have no interest in what he says. That is ignorance. I'm ignoring him. Huh? Okay, that's why I call them ignorant. And they are ignorant as Freddie Phoebish. What else is I working doing? I made got a new art slideshow up on my Galleria de Atlante page. 5. Where'd my thing go here? That says 5. This says 5. And I bet if I go here and I go to, it's pretty easy to predict who is let me see. Street stuff. Well, your channel has gotten 477,000 views so far. Oh, I see something here. Oh. Let me see here. What's mine say? Videos playlist. Manage. Now. Huh. What's it under? Oh, is it shorts? Home? Where's my stats? Is it under settings, maybe? Notifications, playback, and performance. There. Oh, no. Connected apps, billing, advanced, account. Wow. History. Downloads, watch it. What'd they do with the channel statistics? No. Settings, location, restricted mode off, data, YouTube, appearance, device language, YouTube Studio. Maybe it's in Studio. Analytics, that's it. 2,618 in the last 28 days. Real time subscribers. How about see more? Oh, it only tells me the last 28 days. Traffic source, geography, cities, viewer age. The majority of people watching my channel are over 65. And then the 55 to 64, 45 to 54 are the fewest, and it doesn't show any people below that. How'd you get in here, Galaxy? Let me put it on that thing so you can see. I told it to turn around. There. See, 45 to 54, 55 to 64, 65 plus. So you see there's a generation gap going on. None 35 to 44. See, Ben don't even watch. Ben knows nothing about my solution. He's talking about bullets, and I don't understand how the bullets can have anything to do with Charlton Heston or Moses or a car. Ask Bonnie and Clyde what bullets have to do with the car. What ended their chase? The bullet. The bullet ended Bonnie and Clyde's chase. The bullet ended Bugsy. What's his name? Bugsy and the guy in Las Vegas, the mobster, Siegel, Bugsy Siegel, whatever. He was shot through his window with a carbine. Viewer gender. Oh, wow, 10% female viewers, mostly male viewers. Well, we know who has the balls, huh? There are some females in the chase with balls. She's got balls. Revenue source. None. February 1st to February 5th. Oh, look, I made 38 cents. On February 1st. Wow. Look at that, 38 cents, way up there. Now, that should be 38 billion, you know what I mean? What the fudge? You put that on the shungite, level off my tripod. I got a little piece of shungite that keeps it so the line's straight across the screen there. And the screen is too close to the camera. Maybe I can get it further. Just put this higher and further back. There. I got to hold it because it doesn't want to balance. Oh, maybe I'll put that little balancing piece underneath that leg. Yeah. Oh. Do, do, do. Rocky's music, so cool. It's stoner music. It's me and my friends smoking bones. Whoop. I'll put this under that leg, maybe. There. Okay. Subscription status. Whoa. When did I? January, I got some more subscribers. Oh, how many watchers are subscribed versus not subscribed? Most people are not subscribed. Twice as many unsubscribers as subscribers. But they were subscribed somehow for it to pick up and show up on their screen. Playlist, more, traffic, content. See there, it only shows line chart, daily, no, yearly. Oh, can we go to last year? Oh, here, last 28 days. Lifetime, there. Fudjo. Now we can see the stats. Impressions, 3,812,285. Right there, 3,812,285. Views, 537,052. Hours, 40 people have watched 47,000 hours. Oh, that's how many hours of video I have. No, it isn't. No, that's how many hours they've watched. I couldn't have made that many hours of videos. 3 million impressions. But I got another channel that had a lot more. And see, I had a YouTube channel with my email name, and I had a Google account with my email, same name. And when Google bought YouTube, they made it so I couldn't get in my old YouTube channel. So I had to make this new one. So I have one that's got more views still. Okay, I turned it back around. Put the camera further away. And you might have heard Jack run by. Oop. And was check on my battery. Oh, that's the same phone I'm on. My other phone wouldn't do the horizontal. I have these old. I have two of these. They're just crappy Android. I got to reset. I got to get all the files copied off of this and then reset it so that it wipes out. If I use my computer and the file manager to copy stuff off of the phone and put it on the computer, and then I delete it from the phone with the computer, the phone still says that data is on there. So I thought I deleted it off the phone. It's not there. You can't see it. It won't show up in the gallery or anything. But that memory space isn't available that you thought you were freeing up. So when this cheap ass piece of crap, when you get to that point, You copy everything off of it onto the computer, and then you take the SD card out, reformat that, and reset the phone. It just goes off my Wi-Fi. Because I got Starlink Wi-Fi. I could have 200 phones hooked up to my Starlink. So I got this phone I'm using, which I'm going to trade in when I go to, when I got a doctor appointment Friday. So I got to go to redneck neighborhood. Why ain't the chat on here? This is what I do? Do I have to push that button? Oh, there. Should be. Live chat, all messages, there. Yeah. Huh. I don't want to look at the other computer. I want to, folks could look at the audience. Are you the audience? Yes, I get pampered Thursday night. I gotta stay in a real hotel, real cushy bed, and Jack gets to stay in the hotel. They love Jack at the Holiday Inn. Yeah. Yeah, I don't care what anybody else, what they think, They don't have a solution. Here's a guy, he started in 2016. I found the bullet car in 2016. Street didn't accomplish anything. It was done before he got started. I brought that bullet car to the Fenn, and somebody else who knows says, "Hey, Forrest, that's it. That's it. You know what this means." So, yeah, they took pictures with me and Forrest and all that. And everything Street says about that event came out of his freaking ass. Like everything else. Everything comes out of his ass. I see a lot of anti-Christian, I'm not anti any religion. Just because I don't agree, just because I borrowed parts of their religion for parts of my own personal beliefs, my spirituality. I may have borrowed parts of it, use this is good information. I use that. What the hell were they stone people? What the hell are you talking about? You don't stone people. Some of these police videos, the police, the totally innocent people that are just bystanders get raped by the police. And that should never happen. They're handcuffed. You're the passenger in somebody's car. They step on the gas pedal and go. And you can't get out of that back seat unless they open the front door. Are you there voluntarily? Is there anything you can do? You can't undo your seatbelt and grab the steering wheel because you're going to die. So, everybody gets hauled out and put in cuffs. And some they pull guns and run people off the road that have babies in the car. I've come up with I have some inventions that they should talk to me about. Better than stop sticks. Better than stop sticks. There's a couple ways you can take care of it. And I think I'm gonna make some prototypes with my 3D printer. And I have to draw them on my CAD program, and then I'll print them out and be some good ideas for stopping people that run. If you got a warrant and the police pull you over, pull over, because they're still going to get you for the warrant when you get out of the hospital. Or you might not even make it to the hospital. You might only go to the cemetery. So just pull over. Don't ever run from the cops. Because all you're doing is adding on to the consequences. And those consequences could be the end of your life. And I mean, the way to end your life is not by taking somebody else's with you. You want to end your life, you go do it on your own. Don't bring anybody, don't have anybody else involved, or, you know. Sometimes I wonder if Forrest wanted somebody to shoot him. The bullet shattered his canopy on his plane, and he had shards of glass inches from his face. His thumb over his eye, but his thumb was on the trigger. Because when you're on a fighter jet, what's your trigger finger on the fighter jet? Huh? Tell me, what's your trigger finger on a fighter jet? The thumb. And if you're pointing a pistol at yourself, your finger's going to be around the back of the grip. Your thumb's going to be on the trigger. So he had it pointed at his forehead. Important literature. Hemingway shot himself in the head with a shotgun. He shot himself in the forehead. I mean, Kurt Cobain, he stuck the shotgun in his mouth and pulled the trigger. Hemingway, he just blasted his head off with a shotgun that he used to hunt birds. Forrest hunted birds, but he used a BB gun on the birds, but that doesn't matter. He used the smallest bullet that he could kill himself with, which was a .22. That's why the treasure chest that he sent to Barbara Brown had a .22-inch hole drilled in the wood, because he can stick a bullet in there. The bullet at the end of each of them. I gotta look at some other meanings of some of the things that are in, like even the pages with what are the little things called? The little clips on the corners of the pictures. But and K-Pro does all these PowerPoints just full of bullet points all down the left side. Bullets. Normally they're there. Forrest put them at the end of the chapter. Instead of putting an asterisk there, he put a bullet point there. And that's why people didn't get. Why is that? Teachers with ropes. Some people hang themselves. Some people shoot themselves. Some people will jump off a cliff. He's got jumping off a cliff, trying to grab a tree, breaking a leg, whatever, you know. But you got to have a cliff that's high enough you can jump off and not survive if you're going to be suicide. You know, and then you better go head first just to make sure. You know, if that's what your intention is, do you want to kill yourself, or do you want to be crippled the rest of your life? Now, people go, oh, Bill, do suicide. No, I'm talking about Forrest Fenn and his suicide. I'd never, ever, it's going to have to be a bullet or a car or a fall off a cliff or something for me that's unintentional. And yeah, if you ever, guys, if you've probably met women that had said they would kill somebody in their sleep. Don't date them. Don't date those women. If they tell you that they want, even their current boyfriend, whatever, I'll kill him in his sleep. Well, I don't want to have anything to do with you. No, that's a warning. That's like when you're having an affair with somebody that's married, and like, well, my sister, she, her husband was married when she met him. He got divorced, and and she thought it was going to be, no, you married a guy that cheats on his wife. Oh, hopefully she's not watching. But this is, now it'll show up good. This is my, see, it's signed by Charlton Heston. It's got Charlton Heston's signature on it. I think the camera's at this end, yeah. It's the Charlton Heston signature. And on the other side is the Silver Bullet Brigade. And the Silver Bullet was in the chili cook-off scrapbook too. And people, I don't want to think that Forrest. Well, why didn't I think of that? You didn't think of it. I thought of it. Nobody wants to look on that dark side, a little bit on that dark side, but that was the truth of it. The thrill of the chase. His life was a chase, and what ended his chase was a bullet. Just like JFK, the bullet ended his chase. The two Omegas, him and Peggy, planned to go together. And I think if they had planned to go together, I think it's highly unlikely that they didn't let their children know that they planned to go together. There are people that will pay all kinds of money to go to some resort to put themselves to sleep. Rich people do that. I don't want to deal with it anymore. You know, and Forrest, I've had enough of these searchers. I've had enough of these art dealers. I've had enough of these collectors. I've had enough of the FBI. I've had enough of the IRS. I've had enough of the CIA. Y'all double blazes is what Forrest Fenn said. I'm out of here. You know? Oh, let me show you something else I got here. I'll put it up here. Oh, there. Oh, how can I get it? Oh, I can do it this way. Oh, do. In God. Okay. Now I think I can switcheroo. Did I hit the button? Oh, no. No, it turned the chat off. I can't have the chat when I turn the screen around. What the hell? Come on. Oh! What the fuggo? I'm pushing the rotate, show the other camera. There we go. Look at here. SOLVER, Solver Bill. Solver B Bill. Or Key Solver B Bill. A win. Key Solver B Bill. A win. Hey, Mario. You know what? You keep telling me I'm wrong. You tell everybody they're wrong, but you're right. Sorry, buddy. You got it backwards. Right there. Key Solver B Bill. A win. Is there a G anywhere near those? But see, so we can all play that game, Mario. It depends on what order you read it in, doesn't it? If you read it, it's like a survey. They all have an expectation of a certain result. So the surveys are kind of rigged. Even the questions are weak, sometimes weak on one side and strong on another, whatever, about 99.9% of all the people say murder is illegal. 27 states, 27 other states, so that's 28 states with Texas. The Texas is with themselves, right? So that's more than half of the states. That's democracy. That may be just about enough, almost enough for constitutional amendment. But there doesn't need to be any because it's in there. They're supposed to protect the border, keep invaders out. I went to Walmart and there's a guy sitting out front of Walmart. It looks like, the guy, it looks like he's got sandals and a blanket. You can't, because you see his hairy legs coming out of the blanket and sandals, but you don't know if that guy's got clothes on underneath or what. And he's just sitting out in front of Walmart begging, bumming, and he's obviously from the Middle East. No, you don't see Mexicans hanging, out like that. He didn't look Mexican. He was one of them hairy back guys. That should tell you something right there. Oh, yeah. There's going to be a resurrection this year. On Easter. Easter. The resurrection on Easter. On Easter, I'll be 66. Route 66, Snorton Norton, humping to please. It's a trucking company. But this is from the 60s. Look how nice, that's a nice buckle. I'll probably wear that on my 66th birthday. It's Route 66. I think that's why the 66 is on there, for Route 66. But I've been a fan of Snorton Norton. Is it hump day? No, the oxygen guy came by this morning. It's Tuesday. Yep. Almost hump day. Give it another 2 hours. It's hump day in New York City. New York City. Oh, let me turn the chat back on here. Come on. Oh, I have to put it 3 times. Yep. Likely there's an interest held by more than one party. You see, it's obvious that Forrest Fenn's family doesn't know any more than Cynthia, doesn't know any more than Justin Posey, doesn't know any more than Jack Stoof. These people are all under contract to, they don't know. There is somebody else Forrest Fenn has under contract to execute his thing. Because he said they'll be looking all over for it. What are they looking for? If you got millions and millions of dollars, not all that money's in American banks. So it could be in Switzerland. Maybe it was there in Greece and I didn't know it. It could be down where Street used to frequent the hose. But you see, he yeah he has to do several things to accomplish it, like wash his hands of everything. He didn't want any powder left on it, you know. How do you? I guess if you could have a piece of paper shaped to your hand, right? Pull the trigger with it. The gunpowder would go on the paper and it would be not on your hand. But somebody would figure out that paper. They'd find your fingerprint on the paper, you know. So it's like Lewis Merriweather, Lewis and Clark, Lewis, which Pagosa Springs was Fort Lewis, which is a different Lewis, but it's still Fort Lewis. And it was moved to Durango because Pagosa Springs was too far for the Utes to walk. It was too far to walk. Pagosa was too far to walk. Where Warm Waters halt, where the guy that shot, the guy that made the BB gun, the Red Ryder BB gun that he shot the birds with, where he lived. And Fred Harmon there, who wrote Red Ryder, he's got a gypsy wagon out on Highway 160 right in front of his house. I don't think there's been anybody living there for, I think he died like 2018 or so. He died a couple, or maybe 2015, I don't know. But yeah, it was a museum, but it's been closed since he died. And God, that'd be something. Hey, you know, I'll go live there, Fred. I'll go live in your place and run your museum for you. Unless you got skeletons in the closet. If Forrest did any kind of spying in Russia, it was for the CIA and not the Russians. And he wasn't that guy. That guy's 5-6 years older than Forrest, and the woman is 5 years younger than Peggy. So you don't have much chance of living to be 95. Not that, it's a very slim chance, you know. No, Janet Langard, what is she? 70? You know. I was just watching. What was it? Who was it? There was a guy. I was watching a video. It was another guy. That maybe it was Toby Keith. That was. But he did something in it 20 years later. Oh no, they were talking about the woman that was just fired from Disney, and 20 years later. No, she's in a lawsuit. No, it was somebody who just died, and it had been Toby Keith, but he was telling the story about 9/11, and that's 22 years later. So the 9/11 is 23 years. No, that was November. It's not 23 years yet. I was in New York City on 9/11, 2006, on the 5-year anniversary. That's why I seen Rudy Giuliani outside the firehouse at Ground Zero, and I met this guy. One guy I met because I was wearing a pin that said "In God We Trust," and he wanted a picture of my pin. I got more of those pins somewhere. I saw some, and I bought like 10 of them, but I had one on my hat that I lost, and I'm gonna put one on my new hat. And he wanted a picture of that pin because it said "In God We Trust" and had the American flag and freedom on it and whatever, you know. And but he was a guy that coined the "I'm a pepper, you're a pepper." He was the "I'm a pepper, you're a pepper, she's a pepper too." You know. But I knew that dude. So when Forrest talked about Dr. Pepper, that's like it reminds. It struck it in me. It triggered. Oh, I know the Pepper guy. I know the Dr. Pepper guy. But one of the rock formations looks like a soda bottle. Looks like a grapette bottle. Actually, it's got a dark spot up there with oval thing on the neck, but the top is broken off. The very top of the bottle. But there's figures all over it. And comes out really neat in the art. What do we at? An hour and 20. What do we got here? The dogs. Yeah, the dogs. That's the other thing. I watch X-22 report. Oh, what I did? I hit the wrong button. I meant to hit that button. There. Woo. The X-22 report, and there were some recent dog comms. They tell a story about dogs, but it's relating to certain people or certain events, or certain narratives, and they use dogs. They talk about a dog that represents one person, another dog represents another person. Forrest, this is a CIA thing. Forrest used dog comms. He named his dog Willie. Billy is an androgynous name. It can be a male or a female. So I've never gone by Billy. People have called me that. I don't have any problem with it. But I don't intentionally go by that. People have called me William. William is my official name. See if I can straighten out that hair after I frizzed it out. It's just wire. That's why I got to get it cut. I need to trim these sideburns a little bit. What's there? There's just a little fuzz right there blocking my ear. That's just because the glasses. It'd be fine if the glasses weren't there. You see right over there, right there. That's the vortex. And these people on the ladder going into the vortex, that's the stairway to heaven. And they're going into the vortex and going to heaven. And that came off of one of the rock formations I found, basically. That's what I saw in the rock. That was in the scepter of Anubis, who is the god of the dead. And of course, the god of the dead has spirits going to heaven in his scepter. It's badass. So I have a picture of my wolf dog, and you can see stars in his eye. You see little pinpoints of lights in his eyes. It looks like stars in there. Hey, Selena, Longmont. Yeah, I'm going to be in Denver Thursday because I got a VA appointment Friday morning. So I get a night at the Holiday Inn. Yep. I found my motorcycle helmet near Longmont. I used to work at IBM. I worked for IBM CAD in 1989 up there between Boulder and Longmont. I lived in Broomfield, and while I was working there, my engine blew up on my car, and I had to start hitchhiking to work, and then I got fired because I didn't have a car right then. The car blew up, and it was 10 below zero, and I was miles from home, and I was hitchhiking to work in the dead of winter. It was scary driving out there. on that road. Those long highways, flat, when it's just ice, and you're like, just keep it straight. Don't touch the brakes. Don't make any sudden moves. You know, be very gentle on the ice. uh, I think it'd be a good idea. I gotta try it. Maybe I should try it. Um, to put skates on cars. that that if you get into a slide on the ice, the skates come down and keep you from, you know, and or they keep you going straight. Just one long blade from front to back to keep you going straight. You turn your skate on. If you want to go straight and not veer, use the skate. Might have a little turn to the front of it, you know, with the wheels. Yeah, I got the power thing down. I know how much batteries this battery lasts all night. I worked at the south end of the building. It was like a half mile to walk to lunch. Yeah, I was a software tester for IBM CAD. That's my paper plate bag. I just used the last one. Like, when you're in an RV and you don't have enough cupboards, you hang things from the ceiling in paper bags. and really, the stuff, that's where you put the bread and think that you don't want a mouse getting in it, hang it from the ceiling. They can't get there. That really sucks. You know, I was supposed to be living in a house about 6 weeks ago, and not yet. I don't like living off grid, having to run generator, having to change oil, put the oil in the generator, start the generator, go stop it when it's 5 below 0 outside. You got to put on a shoe, you know, all this. I'd rather be on the grid. And then I would use this battery I have as my UPS. and so I would keep the battery fully charged all the time, and all my electronics run on the battery. And then when the lights go out, when the power goes out to the house, I still got power on my stuff. You know, and even lights for the room. Even for a house on the grid, I'm gonna change all the lights out to LEDs. It's so economical. It cuts your bill like mad. Just doing that little bit of saving power, you know, cutting a little corner. I have an invention for a RV appliance that would replace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different machines on the RV can be replaced with one RV appliance. Doesn't that make sense? Kind of like what Tesla does, you know? He finds a way to make the thing with fewer parts. Because there's no reason while the refrigerator is burning propane to run the gas in the refrigerator. There's no reason that he can't also heat a little steam bucket that runs makes electricity too. You know? Or in that fact, why not just use the propane to heat a little steam boiler, and that makes electricity to run everything. And it heats your RV. And the refrigerator It's 34 degrees outside. It should say, hey, it's 34 degrees outside. Let's turn the refrigerator off and just open a vent to the outside. And the refrigerator says, oh, yeah. And then when it's 25 degrees outside or colder, it opens the freezer door to the outside and it doesn't have to run the freezer. There are so many things that you could do to make that more economical, not use. Why? Because it's trying to burn propane to stay warmer than it is outside. or to cool off. There's no reason. And then that same steam heat or whatever, you could probably have a steam cooktop, or a you could just do electric if you had the a single electric generator that makes but you got solar and all that too. I got 600. I got 1,200 watts of solar on my 48 volt batteries, and it keeps this 51 kilowatt hour battery charged. The sun goes down, and then before the battery runs dead, the sun comes up. That's all you need. I like that thing with the key solver be Bill a win. Stick it, Mario. His wife just died. It's sad for her. I sometimes I have trouble feeling sorry for people that give me a hard time. That's expected. You give me a hard time, I'm not going to feel sorry for you. And really, you try and make me obsolete. Try and unimportant somebody. Well, yeah, Mari, you're not important. In fact, you flew over here one time. Forrest Fenn said you're not going to solve it on spring break. No, you didn't solve it. You didn't solve it in your head by looking at the poem like Street did. Street didn't solve it either. Thought. Oh, shit. I didn't think of that. It just came out. Yeah, all his thoughts come out his ass. Maybe that's how he thinks. Oh, man. Well, one day he'll go buy him some coke laced with fentanyl, and it'll be all over for him. Yeah, drugs nowadays way more dangerous. I mean, back in the 70s, 80s, somebody might put some baking soda in it. Not gonna hurt you. In fact, baking soda will open up your pores and stuff and make it more effective. But yeah, now that I'll put that in it. My brother, he used to, back when they had the Colombian gold and the brown Mexican weed and shit, he'd buy like an ounce of weed, right? And he'd take a half ounce of cow pie, dried cow or dried horse shit. That's what it was, dried horse shit. And because it has little fibers, it looks like It looks like a bud, you know? And he put little chunks of dried horse shit in the bag and sell these dime bags. And it was half horse shit or a quarter horse shit. You can go down to Tijuana and you can buy donkey shit cigarettes, or you can buy horse shit cigarettes. I don't know if they got pig shit. That'd be nasty. Ugh. Moose shit. They might have. I think Paul smokes those up in Montana. Yeah, weather's. What is it? 11:30, and it's 34 degrees here. What does the weather people say? What do the weather people say? They say it's 32. It's actually 34. 34 degrees. 59% humidity. And I got 66 inside in t-shirt. Double blazes. I got a new design. I got to get t-shirts. I got to get a couple t-shirts with the new design on it, because they have more facial features on the man and the woman on the new one. They're new figures. I put this design into AI and I said improve it. Yeah, all right. I like that. So pretty much the same. Just a little more detail in the faces and stuff on the figures. Should actually just still use the bottom part the same, just change the two figures that I improved. Here's an important movie right here. So this is the game. We're playing the game part 2. Everybody got a ticket. We were all dealt a card. Just like Michael Douglas in the game, he was dealt a card, a birthday card. and what doesn't kill you makes you better. You know? Yeah, it's like some people. There are people that I guess, you know, the people that shoot themselves, bullets, ropes, cars, jump off cliffs, run out in front of cars, run out in front of trucks, run out in front of trains, lay on railroad tracks. There's all kind, you know. There's even a movie, 101 Ways to Die in the West, you know, or something. Is it? Something like that. And the people do things that you go, what the hell? And I was wondering, what the hell was that noise? I was looking for what it was my inverter, my 3,000 watt inverter. The fan comes on about every 2 minutes. And it sounded like the fan needs cleaned or changed. I worked as an engineer at this place, Telewave, and they had these auto-tune combiners that were, you see all the cellular radios, they got all these radios that go into one cable. You got like 24 channels, 24 radios or 16 radio, depending on how many are in that bank. And they all go into one coax cable to go up to the antenna. And with this combiner thing that we had, it's microwave, and so the signal's put into a cylinder, and then there's temperature sensors in the cylinder and all that there's a diaphragm in there that moves so that the frequency is perfectly tuned. when all the channels are combined into one channel so that they have their separation, proper separation from the other channels. Jason Northface knows all about this shit. Well, he should, because that's what we send up to the antennas that he'd put up on the towers, you know? And anyhow, these things, they get hot because it's like a little microwave oven in there, in that cylinder. It gets warm in there. And so you got and there's motors, actuators that move the diaphragm in and out to change the size of the cavity to adjust the frequency. And so there's fans. There's like 2 fans for each channel. And they had, so you had to shut the thing down, take it all apart to change a fan on it. I changed the whole thing where all you had to do, you take the fan cover off, you change the fan you want to change, and you put it back on. You didn't have to turn the system off. You could just keep going. And really, the best, the suggested was, if you're going to do that, have fans that are putting air onto it, and that'll work while you're changing the fan motor out on it. And you didn't have to turn the cellular system off to change the fans. I engineered that, and I engineered some things for the RS-232 communicate in the front panel where the stuff plugs in and the lights and shit. And I was a quality control inspector and electronics technician at Abbott Labs back in Irving, Texas, and we made these machines. That was in 86, something like that. Yeah. And they made machines that have all these, when they take your blood and they put the vials in there, and the vial goes around, and the machine checks the vial, tests the vials or whatever, But used to work there. Worked for Puritan Bennett in Boulder. And where's my chat go again? It keeps turning it off. There. Oh, hadn't said much anyhow. But so yeah, I was a quality control inspector too there. So, but they had a problem. The other technician had a problem. He had this box. There was like 20 boards in there that he couldn't fix. And I fixed them all in one morning. How'd you do that? I'm a quality control inspector. I looked at it. I just looked at it. I could see. I looked for solder traces between the terminals, lifted solder tab. I did a visual inspection while he tried to do everything electronically. My first thing as an inspector, you get out the magnifier and go, oh, there it is. Get solder on it. Get that little tab of solder out there. There's a little solder bridge underneath the chip, something like that. Pretty simple. But yeah, that was the last time. Then he was all caught up, so he didn't need me anymore. But that might not have been a very good job to have, because they had wave solder stuff there, and I think around wave solder you should have breathing protection, because there's lead and stuff in the solder fumes. That's silver lead solder, But I think I wonder if you took a roll of solder, electronic solder, how much silver they could extract from that. How much of it's silver and how much is lead. And then people that went up to Alaska 6 people went up to guys on, old sailing ships trying to find the Northwest Passage and shit, and they got stuck up there. And it was when they were canning foods in cans, and they would lead solder the cans shut, and that the lead in the cans poisoned them all, and they died from lead poisoning. And so that's why they don't do that anymore. You're lucky. Some of those periods you didn't. You don't want to live during that period because, well, you might die of lead poisoning if you don't know from this gen going back. You see, in my belief, time doesn't exist. It's part of the imagination. It's like now. All there is now. Yesterday's gone, tomorrow ain't here. All there is now. But yesterday is in your memories, and tomorrow's in your imagination. Oh, that's a good one, Bill. I think I'm going to make that a famous quote. Make that viral. Bill Gorman said, "Yesterday is memory. Tomorrow is imagination." I'm going to do that right now. Wants to be normal again. Yesterday. Memory. Oh, I can't. I don't type fast. And I don't always hit the right key, and I have to go back and I have to do the spell check. Oh. Who wants to feel normal again? That's about the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. Yeah. Oh, I gotta edit that. That needs to be 2 lines. Oh. There. There. So, let's see what else. Who's I was watching X22? Brought up something. Oh yeah, that was the dog comms I brought up. I already talked about that. But yeah, my solution I got there by using Kevin Bacon's 6 degrees of separation, except I ended up with 1 degree of synchronicity. The car was a bullet. That's 1 degree. Those are bullet points at the end of each chapter. That's 1 degree. Teachers with ropes. Important literatures. The guy that shot himself. A guy who was having a great party that ended when somebody was killed by a car. A Forrest Fenn is a car. It makes a whole lot more sense. See, Mario, he chose a rabbit hole. It's like is it The Price is Right? The Price is Right, right? And at the end, you got door number 1 or door number 2 or door number 3. I'm gonna make a little animation, right? and, and yeah, I'll have to resurrect our host, the right one. But it's like you have a choice now. You've made it this far. You're at the end of the chase. You have a choice: rabbit hole number 1, or rabbit hole number 2, or rabbit hole number 3. You chose poorly. It's just like choosing the wrong cup, choosing the wrong blaze. It's just, you chose poorly. Indiana Jones is in there. Forrest Fenn, he's the same age as Forrest. Harrison Ford is the same age as Forrest. They're both pilots. You don't think they didn't know each other? Forrest knew Lucas and Spielberg. And you know what I think Lucas should do? He sold Lucasfilm to Disney. I think he should make them take his name off of it if they want to be a little nasty. What they are. If I said so, yeah. Oh, delete your video. You talk bad about Disney. So would Walt Disney. Walt Disney would have so many complaints about Disney right now. He would fire them all. He would drain the swamp. He'd drain the river around Huck Finn Island. Yeah, that's what they do. If you don't want to be a freak like us, then we're gonna have to fire you. Sorry, I'm not a freak. No one girls said my videos are creepy. Well, no, I'm trying to. There's a point for it, and what, my art, talking rocks or no. That's what I. That ain't going away. That ain't going away. That's my art. Yeah. Where are we at? Hour and 53. I lasted longer than Mario tonight. And I had a better part of the puzzle there than Mario. Yeah. Key solver, B. Bill Gorman. A win. Or that should say a winning key, right? There's not a second N. There. And I'm doing it the way he does it. The numbers don't touch each other that he's reading, like potato, he's got the P and the O together, Just show and the I've so here. Huh. Hermes is in there. You know that Hermes is in the poem. So it is philosophy and all that, and he's being cryptic about the bullet. The bullet points at the end of each chapter. You cannot ignore that. If you ignore that, it's the equivalent of a lobotomy in the Forrest Fenn chase. If you ignore the bullet points at the end of each chapter, you have given yourself a lobotomy. There goes that fan again. Can I? I'm wondering if I could. Oh, it always stops before I can knock the thing to see if I can knock it stopped. I got to rebuild everything. I got to take things out and then rebuild it. Because I had all my desk and everything in here when I added this battery and power system, and now it's just all on top of each other, and I got to move everything out and build it back. Like when it gets warm, I'm taking everything outside and cleaning and then putting back in what needs to go back in. But I'm going to build I start building freaking brick buildings here. I'm going to make my own brick buildings. I'm going to make like concrete panels, 8 by 8, 8 foot by 8 foot, or 8 foot by 10 foot concrete little wall panels. And then I put a post every 10 feet and I put the panels in between them, like a fence, box in a certain area, and then I build a castle inside. Anybody got a cannon? I want a couple. I need one. I need like 4. No. I need like 4. One in each direction. One in each corner. So I can take any 2 and point them in the same direction. That's how when pilgrims came over on the Mayflower, they took a cannon off the ship and they put it on their fort. And if the Indians come around, they'd fire the cannon and the Indians would run off. They didn't have to. Whoa! Boom! God thunder. They thought, powerful man, powerful white man. He's got big gun. Even the musket balls are 3/4 inch. So, the brown Bess, which could be Bessie the cow, the brown Bess was the gun used, fired a shot heard around the world with .75 caliber mini or 75 caliber musket ball. That's practically a cannonball. And so you take it in the cannon down. The 75 caliber is a heavy load. That's what I need. I need me a 3/4 inch stainless steel ball. So I can show you what it's like. You're as big as your eyeball, man. That's a musket ball the size of a quarter. Oh. Huh. Can't find any on eBay. Probably get a pew, pew. Nope. Huh. Well, maybe they're not stainless. No. Wow. They got them under musket ball? them on eBay either. Oh. Searching my orders. No, that's not what I want to do. There's one. $49, $8 shipping. Jesus. So, you get your metal detector, go out there and find some of these. There's some pre-Revolutionary War battlefields, like French and Indian War type areas and stuff where they had skirmishes. You find them them 3/4 inch musket balls, and you can get $57 a piece for them. I was looking for a brand new one. I don't need an antique. Nope, that's the lowest price. $49, $8 shipping. Damn. You know, you could make counterfeit musket balls pretty easily for a lot less than $49. Nobody would know. You make the thing, you go bury it in the yard for 6 months, dig it up, and sell it for $49. Oh, but you got to throw it at something, put a dent in it. I mean, that gets heavy when you got bullets that big. You know, bag of bullets get really heavy. Musket ball. That's a buck. 5 and drum, 75 pewter. Sealed reproduction. Oh, a repo musket ball, $12.99. There we go. Yeah, you don't want the original thing. Yeah, they got the repo, but get the repo or the reproduction. Shoot it at something, bury it for 6 months, dig it up. Just don't use smokeless powder. They can tell by that. I don't think they had smokeless powder back then. Smoothbore flintlock. Yep. Oh, I got a new power meter coming for my battery, so I don't have to use my phone to see what my voltage is. The 48. So yeah, because I got to tell if it's 54 volts or 46. If it's less than 49 volts, I go start the generator. But it's nice to have a little light with the number big and bright right in front of you. Is like my dashboard here. You got to have a dashboard on your desk when you're off grid. That would be something to do too. Get an old car. You don't have to restore the outside necessarily or fix the engine, but if you just fixed up the inside and made it your studio for doing YouTube videos, that'd be interesting. It turned that off again. It keeps turning the live chat off because nobody's saying anything. Oh, that's why. That's why. A lot of people aren't watching the Forrest Fenn stuff anymore. I noticed. See, watch Mario, like 20 people, 10 people, 8 people, you know, like I had 8 people, 9, 12. But people don't watch me out of ignorance. I like know who the 5 are. Who are the 5? Send me an email. You don't have to, you know. Yeah, oh, it's late there. Yeah, it's all not. Where's that time? Yeah, it's 1 o'clock on the east. I was uh I was invited even further out there than you are, Amy. Geoduck. Oh, hey. Oh, so there's 2 out of 3. I'm one of the 3, so there's only 2 more. That's got to be the Fenn tribe, the Fenn's tribe, his team Fenn, or the Forrest Fenn's theme song. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Dirty deeds and the done dirt cheap. Dirty deeds. Me and Angus Young have the same birthday. That's something else. Hey, Angus, Easter birthday. Yeah. Well, he's 3 or 4 years older than me. Maybe he's 5 or 6 years older than me. 3 to 6 years older than me. I think he was born in 56 or 52. I don't know. One of those. He was born in the 50s. Pretty soon, us people born in the 50s, there's going to be very few of us around. Right now, there's very few people that were born in the 30s. Because all the people born in the 30s are 90 or turning 90. All the people born in the 40s, they're coming up. They'll be turning 90. But you never know how long you live. My grandmother, she lived to 94. My great grandfather and great grandmother on my dad's father's side, they lived to be 94 each. And then my grandfather lived to be 89. And my dad, or no, he didn't make it to 89. He made it like 79 or something. My dad made it to 67, but he was killed by Kaiser Hospital. They turned his heart-lung machine on in reverse, blew his heart up like a balloon. And then my mother, she went at 53 from bowel cancer. That's not colon cancer. It's on the outside. It's in the bowel cavity, not in the colon. So because it was on her spine, and it probably came from her pancreas. Because my aunt, her sister, has trouble with the pancreas. And then I found out my grandmother's sister, Rose, was married to a guy named Yeager. You know any pilots named Yeager? I might be related to Chuck Yeager through my grandmother's sister, who Grandma says was a prostitute. And according to my aunt, my grandmother was too. My dad's mother, she was married 9 times. 3 of the guys she married more than once. So that accounts for 6. So there's 3 other guys. Or maybe one of them she married 3 times. I don't know. But she lived to be 94, and I got video of her. I'm going to live forever. I'm never going to die. She got a bad thyroid like me. I had an appointment with a cardiologist on Friday because my aorta is getting a little big, and so they say they have to check it every year to make sure it doesn't get too big. But that's probably why my fingertips are stinging and burning because the circulation isn't that great. It's kind of like the when your circulation's cut off to your feet and you hit the ground feeling, the stinging. There's just like it's like pins and needles on my fingertips. I can't stand it. And I took the duloxetine for it. Duloxetine HCl. Take one every day. I quit taking the tremor medicine. So you might see it when I'm holding see me moving the camera and stuff, and my shaking stuff, because I got a little bit of tremor. I have trouble with it eating, but if I have trouble with eating, then I just eat with the left hand because the left hand isn't like the right. And I would know exactly what was wrong if I had good doctors. You see, that's why it's like the doctors. My cardiologist is a good doctor. She's really good. She's a University of Colorado a cardiologist, and then I got another appointment. I think I got another trip to Denver at the end of the month. Yeah. Miller Sampson. You know Bart Simpson? I went to the University of Oregon. That's right next to Springfield. That's where the Simpsons were, Springfield, Oregon. And who are they? South Park. The South Park, Colorado. That's why they got the mountains in the background, and blame Canada. Blame Canada. Right, Togo? Blame Canada. Togo can sing to that. Oh, yeah. My ancestors are from right near there. The Walkers. What's the name of that place? If I go look. Oh, let me show you some family tree stuff for fun, man. That's amazing shit. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, my family tree, everybody on it except for me is dead. But there's thousands of people on there. And it's like I had my ancestor John Gorman, who is my fourth great grandfather, born in 1825 in Guernsey County. Oh, or no, it's in Guernsey, Wyoming County, Pennsylvania. And the Gorman dairy cow is in the mill of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, and that's my relatives there. Those are the Gormans I'm associated with. The Gormans of Wilkes-Barre. They came from Connecticut and Hartford. He was a William Gorman that came in 1747. But anyhow, I think, was it John? Yeah. Yeah, his wife was Esther Meade. And I had her name and what I thought was her father's, what family I thought she came from. I didn't know any further than that. But somebody linked her back into the royal family. So it's like, wow, she goes back there. Wow. Boo. So I can show you some. Oh yeah? Dinah Jane, 1726 to deceased. In 1726 in Florida, Orange, New York, United States, her father, Samuel Jane, was 36, and her mother, Dinah, was 41. She married Samuel Gale about 1743 in Orange, New York. I might as well show you what I'm looking at. They were parents of at least one son. What she got to do is she family tree and line siblings. Where's the relationship? Usually it'll say, "What's my relationship?" You know, I don't know. How am I related to this person? There's Moses Gale down there. And Anna Jane, Stephen Jane. There we go. That's a relative. Yep, that's a relative. Dinah Toker. Tuker. Doop. Tree. And I think I better block for a second until I know I'm good here. Oh, it is landscape. But I'm going to go advance over, kind of start with my grandparents. That's my grandparents right here. Cavan, Gorman, Loomis. So yeah, the armored trucks. There's Rogers. See, and that goes. I have copies of. I took pictures of his birth record that my fourth great grandfather James Rogers wrote into the town ledger. But if we go here, watch this. This is a fun one. Woo. Lieutenant Colonel James Rogers and General Ethan Allen, Mary Ann Allen, Ethan Allen, Joseph Allen, Reverend David McGregor. And see, the McGregors, this is really, this guy, no, David, his father, James McCousin, he's first cousin of Rob Roy McGregor. So I'm related to Boyd's, Jameson. You might see, some people might see their own freaking name in here somewhere. And there's Moses. You see Moses Hinman. I got a picture of his grave up in Canada. And his father was Moses. That's what it said. You want to go? I'll go try and go back there, see if I can find it. Where was I? Oh, Rogers. Cornelius Bronson, yes. You see, because that's Mary Bronson, Ethan Allen's first wife. His second wife tried to write off my fourth great grandmother as dead because she was a loyalist. Well, she's dead. She died right about the same time Ethan did. Yeah, she died. No. Here's her grave up here. It says where she was born. 1775 in Massachusetts, while Ethan was in jail in England. Cornelius Bronson, got a few Corneliuses. Welton. John Bronson. We're back in the 1500s here. We're back in the Renaissance. Cornelius Bronson. There's a lot of Cornelius Bronsons in the family. Does that mean? Oh, wait. Does that mean? Oh, that's Branson, right? Oh, the guy, the James Bond dude, right? Is that does that mean I'm related to James Bond? James Jacob Rogers. I like her name, Mary Margaret McFartridge. Fapphart Ridge. Fartridge. I if I was a girl and had that name, I'd get married real quick and change it. Robert McFartridge. See, here's this Meade family, and I followed it. See, Esther Meade, John Gorman. I had these ones in here. So they've erased some of my family. They're little buttheads. Some people. Oh, wait, I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm going to take that out. Yeah. So Hayden. And this will go back into the royal families. And it says there's dukes and stuff. Elliot Hall. Oh, the Hall family. That goes back. That means I'm related to the loan officer. Sarah Hall. Nicola. Look, I'm related to Walter White, too. Manfield. That's not Mansfield, that's Manfield. Henry Manfield. Here, Prince Charles inherited $20 billion. I know, what's his name? Harry got $1 billion. That's 1,000 million. Edward White. What was I looking for? Walter, right? I don't think there's going to be a Walter. Nope. Doesn't go any back any further. Foster's. Granaway, Church, Harcourt. There, the Harcourt. That's where the royals come in. The Harcourt. Oh, no, they should, because Harcourt's a famous name in the royal families. Greenway, Richard Lee, Sanchez, Elizabeth. Where are we? 1459. There. I'm in the wood. I'm part of. If it wasn't for Elizabeth and Benedict creating little Richard, I wouldn't be here. That's all it took. This whole mathematical formula to get to me meant all these people had to have sex exactly when they did. Yep. Oh, yeah, see, so your cousin. Samson is a cousin. I'm related to Hercules Samson. Let's check this to go back further with John Wood. Sir William Wood. I wonder if he... Oh, see, Wood, here it tells you that somebody named Wood can be related to somebody named Atwood. Or White. There's Bill White again. And there's Newland. We know people in the government named Newland nowadays. That's from the 1290 AD. Deceased. Damn, thought they might still find him around. John Wood. Why do they have... You notice, you see what I see? I see Templar crosses. Bosco Wood. Oh, nobody after Bosco Wood. Nobody after Ledgerton. But I mean, the all of these people, half of the people you see on here donated sperm to make me. Lammers. Yeah. There's my great grandfather. Ooh, Gumpy. They called him Gumpy. Right there. Gumpy Gorman. That's what I asked my cousins, or my dad's cousins called him Gumpy. I called him Great Grandpa. And Rosa right there. Loomis. They got money. And the Hogans. See, the Hogan, here's the Walkers, and this one goes to Green, Kentucky. See, there's my Kentucky William Cavan in Green, Kentucky. Hugh Thomas Cavan. Mason, Illinois. You know where that is, right? Miller? You know where Mason, Illinois is? So that's where, see, my ancestors and the Walkers came from there too. In Mason, Illinois. William Wallace Walker. He was a doctor in the Civil War for the Union. And you know, Lincoln's doctor, his name was Walker. And Lincoln came from Springfield. So, wonder, you know. So here, where did we find, oh yeah, Joseph Colton Walker is the son of, there we go. There's where you go. See here, James Walker Sr. and Mary Ann Walker. They're second cousins. They got married. This goes to John Jack Gunstocker Walker. And this one up here should go to Alexander Knight Walker, John Alexander Walker. See, I found all these guys too in New Hampshire. And the last place they were seen was in Scotland. But the McKnights, John McNaught must be from Nottingham, McNottingham. Alexander Gordon, John Arbishmost. Yeah, some of my ancestors, who knows, you know, what kind of, were these, they all seem the 13th of Arbishust, Sir Robert, that's a knight, a sir. These are knights, McNaught, McNaughton. That ain't gonna go much further. Oh no, it keeps going, huh? McNaughton, O'Campbell. It's back to the 1200s, man. This goes back to when the chest, 1250. 1190. Let's go back 1,000 years. Angus Gillimartin, Malcolm McNaughton. That's a lot of McNaughts in my rope. In my neck rope. John Wallace. There's Wallace. William Wallace. Gonna be in here. Got to go back to 1200, 1100. Wallace. But Wallace, that's where it's going to. And this is Scotland. These are Scottish people. Scotland. So I'm related to William Wallace, but I'm related to William Wallace because remember in the movie he slept with the queen with the princess because the king's son was gay. So that means I'm related to William Wallace and not the king's son. Newton. Look. Oh man, is Sir Isaac going to be in here? Edward Newton, Richard Newton. Is Fig in my fam? Is no. Damn. See, it's probably getting close. 1580. Richard Newton. Now, I can look at children and see if Isaac was a no Isaac in that family. Any Isaac in this family? Edward, no. When was Isaac Newton born? Oh, this is still 1500s. Edward Newton. Grace, Edward, no. No, William Colton. Newton. So yeah, Isaac Newton's probably a cousin. At least a cousin. Because I have ancestors named male ancestors named Newton. So that goes back to the original Newton. Atkin. Look, I'm related to the Cartwrights. Bob Cartwright, Elizabetham, Francis, Thomas Cartwright. Fuck, man, I went. Wonder if Haas is in here. Bob Cartwright, no. George, Richard, Elizabeth, Dorothy. Newton, Grace Newton. Oh, they ain't going to be Newtons. That's pretty neat. So I'm related to the Bonanza. 1576. But my family tree, there's one of these branches. I can follow it. See, there's the Fletchers and the Caseys. This Captain Benjamin Casey here. And he's the great-great-grandfather of Mark Twain. That's how Mark Twain is a cousin of mine. Because he's descended from Benjamin Casey. Nicholas Casey. These Caseys go back pretty far too. We're all back in the 1600s here. 1560. Causey. Name changed from Casey to Causey. To Case. Oh, Bowen. Oh no. Was our neighbors where I grew up. You never know if you're probably living next door to your neighbors. It kind of tells you everybody's related. There's Eldridge. William Eldridge. And Eldridge was the English name for Chief Pathkiller's family. And a lot of times the native women would take an English name. And so I always thought, oh, that's a different Eldridge part of my family. That's Jane Eldridge. I got another Eldridge in here too. That comes off of one of these other branches. Fletcher, I think. Gunther and Mueller. Hey, Miller. Gunther. Sebastian Gunther. Bone. Look like German names, don't they? Bonn, Becker, Gunther, Morgan. Oh yeah, I did my tree. A lot of the what's on here is from what I put in there, and then other people have added on, going, going back further. I take it back into the colonies, and other people took it. It goes back to the year 6, and I took that guy back to Adam and Eve. They're like 140 generations. Bone. Well, those German names. Mueller. Where'd the Muellers go? Theobald Mueller? Johann Conrad Mueller? Well, I didn't see Hitler in there. There's Carson. Samuel Carson. And I'm sure he's related to Kit Carson. Carson family came with actually one of these Walker families. We just saw that. We'll go back to it in a second. But see, this Carson family from the 1600s then came to America, and those are the ancestors of Kit Carson. Walker, Fletcher, Casey, Rutherford Walker, Hammer. See, there's some hammers. Abraham Hammer, Elijah Hammer. There's a bass, or bass. Depends on if you're a drummer or a fisherman. Fletcher, Kinder, Mueller, we saw that. We saw that one. There's the other Eldridge, Edward Eldridge. Margaret Eldridge. She's like my great-great-great-grandmother. Yeah, William Wallace Walker. But she, I think, came from... No way. Oh. 1826. Yeah, he could have. Look, I'm related to the Gibbs. The Bee Gees. Bill Gibbs. Joshua Hishock. But now, we go all the way back. I'm going to grab... Nope, I didn't do that. Stop. Do my my cousin or somebody changed. The name should be Shady, Shadi, right? Because that's what's on Bill Shady's, my mother's Uncle Bill that I'm named after. And my cousin went and changed all their name to Shaddy. That ticks me off. That ticks me. Come on. Just because that's what their name was way back in Europe sometime. They came here. Once they came to America, they were Shady. But, anyhow, let's see. Her sister would be here. Rose. Is that it? There we go. Let's see. Tree. And you see when I go to Rose's, that's my grandmother's sister, Rose. Robert Yeager. And there's the Yeager family in my family tree. Okay, enough of that. Back to here. Lower my camera, tilt it back. Ooh. Yeah, it's a big family. I got a big family. I printed out a thing. It was 1,000 pages to print my family tree, and, and there was, if you just do the math of you got there's you got two parents. Each of them have two parents. So each generation you double the number of ancestors. Each generation to get to the year zero, you gotta double the thing 80 times. You gotta double. You take year one and double it 80 times to get to the year zero, and it'd say you have trillions of ancestors in the year zero. That's because it's not a family tree, it's a family web. It comes back together, it's woven. We're all part of the same mesh. We're all come from the same ether. I didn't even feel like it did. Oh, yeah. What's going on? Yeah, I did most of my tree. My mother did a whole lot of it. I have family pictures, like my great great grandfather in the Civil War. You know, he was in the Wisconsin 8th Infantry Eagle Regiment, and I identified his picture in a picture of old Abe the Screaming Eagle at Vicksburg in 1864. Or was it 1863? July 1863, there's a picture of my great great grandfather standing next to old Abe the War Eagle. And see, my great great grandfather, he had a little bump on his, no, I don't know what side, it'd be over here. He had a little bump on his nose. Am I pointing the right side? I don't know. Let's see. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, it had a little bump right there on his nose. And his picture when he's 80 something has a pit. It's the same guy in the picture with the same nose. It's the same bones and everything in the face. I sent the picture of my great great grandfather, all the pictures I had of him, and that picture from Vicksburg. I sent it to the company that makes the facial recognition software. And he said 99.99999% chance that yes, that's your great great grandfather, most likely him. And he was in that company, or he was in that regiment, the Wisconsin 8th Regiment, in Company B, which Company B was the drum and the fife kind of, which led the color, the led Company C. Company B is right in front of Company C when they're marching through Chicago, and my great great grandfather, he played the fife in the Civil War because he went in when he was 15. The boys in the Civil War, they played the fife or they played the drums. The fife was the intelligence, the signal. He sent signals. Depending on what song he played, it told the troops what to do. If he played this, you do that. If he plays that, you do this, you know. And the drum beats, same thing, you know. So they would send the message to the troops. You can get it out and over the gunfire if you're playing a tune. You can hear that tune playing over the, you know, over the muskets going off. And so he was a sing, but old Abe the Screaming Eagle loved to hear him play Yankee Doodle. And so that the Eagle served in I think 33 or 34 battles. And my great grandfather was one battle less than that. The eagle went one battle more because they got to that battle and the eagle didn't have his favorite fife player. He didn't have his buddy out there playing the fife for him. You know? And the one of the Southern generals had put a bounty out on the eagle. Anybody could shoot that eagle because the eagle would fly over the battle screaming. That's why they call him the Screaming Eagle. And I think there's a Southern football team from college. It's like the eagle came from the north, dude. I think somebody else had a brown, but this was a bald eagle. It was a young bald eagle. He still had brown feathers on his head through most of the war because they don't get their head don't turn white till they're like 5 or 6. And he was traded from a Chippewa chief up in Wisconsin, and my great great grandfather's company, they were the Sheboygan Boys, the Eagle Regiment. He was Company B, and he fought with a couple of relatives. He fought with Tim Rogers, who ended up being his brother-in-law, and he fought with. There's a picture of him with. I might as well get it up, but there's a picture of him with Daniel Hall, who was killed in Nashville, but the picture was taken 3 years before he was killed. It was taken in 62 and he was killed in 65. So yeah, 3 years before he was killed, the picture, it was taken near St. Louis. They were heading south. It was before their first battle, I think. They were camped near St. Louis. There it is. Yep. Trying to get the right folder. I'm going to get the picture on the screen, then turn the camera around. Civil War. Full page, so I don't click on the background page. Boom. Oh, this might be a problem showing that because it's so big a picture and it will not shrink. There. So this is my great-great-grandfather, Christopher Darius Gorman. A lot of people pronounce that name Darius. Look at how Darius spelled, and look how D-A-R-I-U-S is Darius. D-A-R-I-U-S. Dar-I-us. Okay? It's not dairy. There's no dairy. There's no Y. It has nothing to do with cattle. It's an improper way that dumbasses, ignorant people. This guy's Daniel Hall. He was killed in Nashville in 1865. He was the first cousin of the woman that he married. After he was shot at Lake Chicot in Arkansas in 1864. He was shot through the left arm, through the bone in his left arm, through his left shoulder. It entered, and it came out through his right shoulder blade. And you see his canteens, and there says U.S. on there, on his bag. And they're sitting in front of a tent. or in a tent. I don't know. But I forgot where I was going. But I've taken this picture. Let's see, what's this? Oh, this is his medical thing. Look at here. Injury. Uh, injury. Humerus and collar or shoulder. Left entry of the of left. So it's below point of shot. It passed inward and upward, emerging at his third right shoulder of his right shoulder. That's what. Yeah, that's how he was shot. He was shot June 6, 1864. But he laid there for 3 days before a general found him, and I mean, he got shot all the way through from one shoulder to the other with a 58 caliber ball, with a 50 caliber bullet. It was a mini ball. I don't think they were rifled. Were they? Were the mini balls? That was kind of a musket. They packed those in. His father is John Gorman, and Greenbush, Illinois, Packer Jack. Rank, Company B, 8th Regiment, Wisconsin. Union admitted November 4th. Huh? Why does that say 64? November 4th, 64. Oh, he was wounded. This is admitted to this hospital. So, see, he was shot in June. He's still in the hospital in November because he survived gangrene and that bullet wound, and he didn't lose either arm. He didn't have a lot of use of his left arm after that. He was a fife. That's not him. And Tim Rogers was the drummer. So that's how he got to meet his wife, was through Tim Rogers. Because, it was a little town. They all came from the same town. They all knew each other. Union now and forever. There's an old Abe replica. See, he's right there in the back next to the eagle. And I have the Armitrage's diary. I have a book of his diary. So you follow where this guy goes, and you know where he went. Byron Riggs, and they didn't know the names of these guys, but I think somebody found one of these guys over here. They figured one of them out. But yeah, that's my great-great-grandfather. You see that thing right there on his nose? You'll see that. I got another picture of him. There, it's a little clearer. There it is. See? There it is in the Civil War picture. And there he is when he's 80-something. And it's the same thing on his nose. And what I did here, I took parts of this face and pasted it up on this face. And I took parts of this face and pasted it down here. And everything is just perfect. It's him. And the guy that does the software, the facial recognition software, was amazed with my ability to do that. Because, see, you gotta tilt the head correctly. Face has to be looking the same. His head's pretty closely tilted the same. And then you got to have the picture scaled the same, But you see him with that mustache fits right over his lips from his nose. Everything fits perfectly. Oh, this has the darker chin on it with his face. But you see, everything just blends in. Oh, another raw picture. These are dead guys in the Civil War. Spread around the field. Declaration for Widow's Pension. See, and I did an AI of them from that picture. That's the same thing I do with my art, kind of, except I did it with the picture of people. That's what I had. That's what I did, and then the AI did this one to it. But this one here is just colored from the original picture. He's on this list. Like, Gorman, John, Private, C.D. Gorman, Corporal. What? No. Huh. Oh, that might be the GAR organization after the war. That might be his rank in the GAR. Declaration for Invalid Pension. So see, he did get out. He was a disabled veteran. That's basically what that is. Okay, these are his muster things. He was missing, but he wasn't missing. He was captured and he escaped. He escaped twice. He was captured twice and escaped twice. You know, they have no idea. Did they catch him or? These are all just their muster sheets and going in the military. That's his gunshot wound, left arm and back, injuring humerus and scapula. Ball entered outside left arm, 3 inches below joint of shoulder, passed inward and upward, emerging at the upper third of border of right scapula by a mini ball. So yeah, I have the translation of the writing there. So that's kind of what it did. With a .58 caliber. That is the bullet. That's why I included my great-great-grandfather on the list of people shot. and these are all the battles. These are the battles that he fought in, where the eagle and that the eagle did. Everywhere the eagle went, he went. He was wherever the eagle was. Jackson, May 14th, 1863. Mississippi Springs, May 13th, 1863. Vicksburg, May 22nd, 1863. Vicksburg, June 24th, 1863. And the picture with him and the eagle was in July of 1863 at Vicksburg. So it looks like they fought a few battles around, kind of got the whole area before they took the picture there at Vicksburg in July 4th, 1863. And Tallahatchie, December 2nd, 1862. Oh, wait, I had a bigger battle map there because this has more battles. Fredericktown, Point Pleasant, New Madrid, Corinth. You're going to see one on here. You're going to recognize one here. It should be real close here. Wow, that should be right there. Oh, we got to zoom in more because one of these should be on Shiloh. He fought at Shiloh. Is it on the other map? Here. Is that it? No. Nashville. Forrest. Yeah, he went to Shiloh. But is that Corinth? I don't know. Bayou Roberts. This is the Red River campaign. These are all the battles they fought down there. Maysville, May 17th, 1864. Man, they were doing a lot down there. And Fort de Russy, March 15th. Bayou Roberts, Bayou Rapids, Hendersonville, Bayou Monroe. I used to live down there in Louisiana back in 97, 98, part of 98. I had a 5'11" girlfriend. She was a nurse. Burnsville, Farmington. Farmington was his first battle, May 9th, 1862. Farmington, Missouri. Now, why is that way off? Farmington's up there. All of these things are way off. Some of them are off their mark. Oh, well. Go back in this direction. The Battle of Fredericktown. This was his first battle. At the rate at which we have moved since we left Madrid, or Madison on the 8th, that's Madison, Wisconsin, will soon be, if it is not now, fairly entitled to adopt as the motto celebrated dispatch Julius Caesar Veni Vade Vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. The telegraph was doubtless. Before this furnished you with an outline of the battle near Fredericktown on last Monday. I would have sent you an account of it sooner, but the truth is strange as it may seem, that for 2 or 3 days after the engagement, we knew very little more of the details than you did. A man may be in sight and even in the midst of a battle and yet entirely ignorant of what is going on at the very short distance from him. Each man engaged sees but little of the field, and that from a standpoint peculiar to him, hence the apparent contradictions contained in the accounts which different persons give of the same battle. So everybody saw something different, just like the chase. And I was petrified to wait until I could write with some degree of definitiveness and accuracy. It was all true. It was like this here and that there, and the entire force, not far from 8,500 men under Colonel Carlin, that's George Carlin's great-great-grandfather, of the 88th Illinois, who's been in command of this post, went to this place for the purpose of attacking the rebels under command of Colonel Lowe and Jeff Thompson. Frickin' Greg in there again, who were understood to be at Fredericktown, 22 miles distant. Our troops marched all night, only stopping occasionally to rest, and at about 8 o'clock the next morning arrived at Fredericktown. To their astonishment, the rebels had disappeared. They were informed by the inhabitants that they had gone the day before towards Greenville and were probably 30 miles distant, having taken rations for 2 days and being exhausted by the long. See, so what happened here is they asked the people, where'd the troops go? Oh, they left and they went to Greenville. They gave them disinformation. Don't believe what the enemy tells you. Don't believe what they tell you. Because here it gets on to, these guys are just waiting at the edge of town, on the other side of town. I'm going to zoom that in. Oh. Night march. Oh, man. Stephen, Ferris, Cheryl, and 9 others asked to join single RVers. I had 8,000 people in that group. Ranger Force should advance upon the rebels from Cape Juno simultaneously with the force from Pilot Knob and cut off their retreat, while the force under Colonel Carlin should attack them. Thompson discovered this plan by capturing a bearer of dispatches on Sunday morning. He accordingly sent out a party to intercept and cut off the force advancing from Cape Juno before they could form the junction with the force in the place. Fortunately, they were 2 roads. There were 2 roads, and Thompson took the one, and Colonel Palmer, who was command of the troops coming from the river, took the other, and thus the rebels were foiled. Palmer's command, which was commanded by the where'd he go? Where was I? Oh well, it was a battle. Oh, there's part 2, part 3, part 4. Another bunch of news things I got on. I've read all this before. This is that's the Wisconsin Monument at the Vicksburg National Park, a National Historic Park. Vicksburg. I drove around that, did the tour there. I drove around it. I saw that stuff. I drove around Shiloh too. There's a big Illinois monument at Shiloh. Illinois was big there, and so was Wisconsin. The picture of the eagle. Oh, that's this picture of the eagle. It's old Abe. And he's the 101st Airborne Eagle. Same eagle. He's on the police patch. On the stamps. And that was their battle flag. New Madrid, island numbers at the Farmington, siege of Corinth, Urca, Siege of Corinth. Corinth. One of their battle flags. That's another one of them. With the eagle. Now, however many states they had then. Ooh. Okay. Boom. Probably nobody watching. 4 people. Oh. But that was just so half of the Civil War pictures I have in my great-great-grandfather's stuff. And then I got like 7, 8 different family folders of pictures of the different branches of my family, depending on what the last name was. Like your the mother's last name changes every generation. Going all the way back. The father, follow the father. It's all the same name all the way back. Unless you're adopted. There's a lot of those. And look, I know who my ancestors were 1,000 years ago. There are people that how many people in the chase don't even know who their father is, Sasha? And that was a problem. People, girl had the baby, the father killed or her father killed the father of the baby, and so they never knew who their father would never tell because they were ashamed of that. It's the same. Everybody has friends and everybody has people that don't like them. There ain't nobody on the planet that doesn't have somebody that don't like them. There ain't nobody on the planet that doesn't have an enemy. There are people that pretend that they don't, but it's obvious. Like Justin has never had a conversation with me. Never had a conversation with him. I've reached out. Doesn't go anywhere. Cynthia never had a conversation with me. We'll say things, kind of in the sly, the 7% or 7%ers. You know who takes that as an insult? Veterans. The 7% of the United States citizens who are veterans take that as an insult. That could be 6% now with all the migrants coming. But that's where it came from, So, where is it? Oh. We got wind. Oh, last question was from Amy a long time ago. 4, that's me. I smell rubber like a tire just let a lot of air out. Except the wind's blowing out there. Yeah. Might be a good thing. Don't get that. Might have a flat tire on the RV. I don't know. I didn't hear anything pop. But and those tires, there's nothing wrong with those tires. Are just 4 years old. They're not that old. And they've all been holding there perfectly. I probably shouldn't have registered my RV. I paid $250 to register my RV because I thought I was driving it to Kentucky, and that's not happening, So that's another thing. I didn't need to spend that money. I spent that money because it was part of preparing to move, Yeah. I probably would have been better off, yeah. I'll tell you, I'll give you another hint. You go, when you pay for an appraisal, when you're buying a house and you pay for the appraisal, don't use a credit card. The credit card company sees it, they report it to the credit bureau, and they drop your score like they just the slasher with fucking guillotine, man. At least I was qualified and all that was done and set before I paid for the appraisal. And actually, at this point, I owe less on my cards now than before I made that payment. And they said it was because I did that one thing, that one $650 appraisal. Smells like inner tube. You know that you know what inner tubes smell like, or when you let the air out of a tire, put your nose up there. You know, it's a rubber smell. It's not burning. It's a rubber and powder smell, or whatever it is. The powder and rubber puts out a smell. Yes, I did my tree, but is the see, my eyes aren't that blue. They're pretty blue. Yep. Got my eyes from my mother. My mother had blue eyes. I got a birthday from my mother too. I was born on her birthday, which is Easter this year. My birthday was on Easter in 1991, 2002, 2013, 2024. And now my birthday won't be on Easter again until 2086. This is the last time my birthday is on Easter. So it's my resurrection. I'm being resurrected on my birthday. I need a big Easter egg to pop out of for Barbara. You lose! What do we got watching now? I don't know. No thumbs up. I'll give myself a thumbs up if you won't. The thumbs up, when you go look at the video here, it won't tell you who gave you a thumbs up. It just tells you how many. But each person, it tells you who they gave thumbs up to. and so that's one way to check the bias of other searchers. Oh, you like cow? Let's see. Oh, you like cow so much, you must be part of their team. Some of them. Yeah. Trump, wasn't it? Was it Trump? Trump said there is going to be a terrorist attack. So, and you think they do this shit anytime there's an election, and these people need to throw the election, so they do that shit so they can lock people down, so you can't go out and vote, so they have to mail you a ballot, so they can mail themselves 200 fake ballots, and you know what I'm saying? So they do the terrorist attack and all that just for that purpose, because it helps them rip off the election. So that's well known that they done. When did COVID come? 2020. What was that? Election year. Trump says they're gonna the deep staters are gonna And then you got to where or what might be an event. And they've been threatening nuclear. They've been threatening nuclear war. Old Joe wants to nuke Russia. He doesn't care what happens to you. He's about dead anyhow. What do you care if you live or die? You know? He's just doing what he's told, because if you don't, we're going to show them the pictures, Joe. Oh, that's going to be killer when that comes out. But I have my Charlton Heston Silver Bullet Brigade bullet. The magic bullet. That when you leave here, after you get sleepy, you are getting very sleepy. And after I end the video, you are going to go and read Jack Stoof's A Remembrance of Forrest Fenn. And you are going to take special note of what is quoted. Did he careen the car into the creek? Probably. Careened. And all you Karens out there, bite me. All you jealous people, too bad. You didn't do it. You know, we used to watch game shows on TV. And you rooted for somebody to win, you know? They weren't competitors. The thrill of the chase, everybody's a competitor. They're all like Mario. I solved it by doing this, this, and this. It's like, you made one trip. You didn't even do much. And when you get there, you go, holy shit. And after the end of the first day, you go, shit, and I got how many square miles to search? You try and search a square mile. How long is that going to take you? You know, I went out and you kind of just make a trail through along the creek where you're going and look around the creek and try and notice things that are odd, different, which I did. The rocks were odd and different, and I found what appeared to be, at first I thought some hippies or something were out here carving on the rocks. But the more I found of it, the more I knew this is ancient. This is ancient stuff. And the more I looked at it, the easier it was to see. And now I'm basically an expert. People in Mexico call me great teacher because I showed them how to find treasures by being able to see the shapes in the rocks, being able to see the figures in the rock. The guy putting, there are figures there with their hands going into a little cubby, and you know it's under that cubby. I know what shapes to look for, and so is my friend Pedro down in San Jose. I got a bunch of friends down there. There's this one. Ooh, Malini, she's a treasure hunter too down there in Mexico. But she's engaged to one of my other Mexican friends down there. And but man, she's like supermodel stuff. But yeah, she sent me a message how she admired me and everything for what I do and what I've taught them. You know, they call me great teacher and El Magical, the magician. I don't want to watch his videos. I watched Jeremy earlier. So I went on after Jeremy signed off. I went on, even though he doesn't do Fenn. I let him because there are Fenn people there watching him. And Tyler come in there and tried to pretend he was a friend of mine. It's like, really, Tyler? You gang up with Street and Troy and Trusted and anybody else you guys take in, and you all gang up on me. That's a mob, you know. Screw you and your mob, your little gang of bullies is what you are. That's all you are. You all agree with the same, but they don't all agree. You see, and nobody agrees with Street. I got a thing from this woman told me he was that he was like he reminds her of a serial killer. Why can't I feel normal again? Yeah, it's been playing that same album over and over. So, yeah, I think I'm about done. I think there's what? Oh, 6 now. We went up from 4. Time is it? It's after midnight here, I think. Come on, pop up. 12:26. Yeah. And I've been on for 3:26. See? I went on right at 9 o'clock. 9 to midnight. Did that chat stop or what? I refreshed that page. Yep, that's the last thing posted was like an hour ago. So yeah, there's nobody chatting. I showed you where I'm related to the Jaeger family through my grandaunt, Rose. her brother was the one that was killed in the Battle of the Bulge. He was one of the paratroopers who went in to rescue the guys that were trapped there. But Bill Shady. All right, I'm done. Y'all have a good. What is it? Valentine's coming up. I don't know. I got Friday. This Friday is another. This Friday's is a estimated close date, but that's not going to happen because they didn't have the papers in by last Friday. They have to have the papers in by 1 week ahead of the close, and so the close for this Friday ain't going to happen. It can happen on the 23rd or something. It's another 2 weeks, and another 2 weeks, and after the 2 weeks, I just say, I just want this to go away. I don't want any part of it anymore. I'd like to have my money back, everything, what I spent on the appraisal and everything. I want it back, and I can make you pay for the appraisal because you weren't good on your end of the contract. I can come back at you for that. Because I wasted my money because you did not produce what you promised to produce in your contract. And now we're 6 weeks beyond that. And you can't give me an answer of how long it's going to be. So we can't accept that for. So. And it's like the loan company can tell them. I don't have to tell them that. And I haven't told them that. It's what I can tell them. But the loan company can tell them that. And then pull back on offering the loan to me. And not extend it any further. And then I'm fucked. That house, I can't wait for them to do that. That's why time is very important. I mean, it took me 3 years to find that freaking house. Find a house that is that price and qualifies for a VA loan. Took 3 years of looking through trash everywhere, and I would have to move 1,400 miles to get a house at that price in that condition. That meets all the qualifications. Doesn't have lead paint. Has to have a foundation. Can't be a single wide. You can't even buy a new double wide for under 100,000. So I'm pretty upset. You know, I laugh and joke and try to have fun, but that's just a cover for I'm tired of getting fucked. You know? And whoever is running this end game for the Forrest Fenn prize, you get a big F. Like Fenn, F. You get an F. There's only one A in the chase, and it ain't the person managing it. This is about the winner. It's not about the management. I'm sick of you bastards playing the game. I know you know. And I'm just sick. It's not the family. It's not the family. It's not the Posies and the Cynthias and the K-Pros. They are compartmented information. They're not the ones with the big picture. The person with the big picture we've never heard from. We've never heard of, or we haven't thought of. Or we've thought of them, but they don't think of us. They live in it. He didn't leave somebody of modest means to handle this. He left somebody to handle this who was as loaded as he was. Somebody he could trust. He couldn't trust somebody who wasn't as loaded as he was. So he had to find somebody who was loaded, that he could trust and was honorable and would complete this for him. Because he was taking it with him. Nobody was going to have it before he was dead. Not even Jack Stoof. When Jack Stoof is really Jack Sleuth, Sherlock Holmes' dog, which is my dog, the bronze sniffing dog. December 2019, 11 months before Justin Posey, November 2020, bronze sniffing dog. My dog smelled the treasure and peed on it 11 months before Justin Posey's dog ever got anywhere near it. And Justin Posey's too chicken shit to talk to me. Just talk, dude. It's like the police. Come out with your hands up, you know? Just come out with your hands up, Justin. I'm not going to shoot you. You know? I talk about bullets only because that's part of Forrest Fenn's solution. That's why they're bullet points at the end of each chapter. That's why K-Pro has bullet points in her PowerPoints. The list of people died by corporal punishment, bullet points. Everything on Wikipedia is bullet points. The bullet point is the asterisk. The bullet point, the jumbo asterisk in the big print page at the end of the page represents the bullet point at the end of each chapter. Who am I? The Bullet. Bullet. Steve McQueen was Bullet. And he drove a Ford Roadster, basically a Mustang's. I'll tell you who drove a convertible Mustang. The old Ford with no top. and what movie it was. Charlton Heston, Moses. He drove 2 Fords, double blazes, in what is double? Omegas. Charlton Heston as the Omega man driving 2 convertible Fords. Red. Blazes. Oh, one's red and one's blue. Blue blazes, red blazes. You know, you got to have opposites and stuff. If you don't have, if things aren't balanced, it's like if you don't have a balance of good and evil in the world, it'll go out. It'd be out of balance. Just like your wheel, if you put all the weights on one side, your tires go whoop, 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 whoop. There's an even balance of good and evil. Everybody has good and evil. The universe has good and evil in it. But see, the thing is, you have a choice. You can be good, or you can be evil. If you want to be evil, well, the good aren't going to have any mercy on you. You know, when you go out and misbehave and kill people and stuff, the good are going to go, hey, we got to stop this guy. They put a rope on him, and you got teachers with ropes. He was my dad swallowed pills. Teachers will show you how to use ropes. Here's a guy somebody killed with a car in Great Gatsby. Hemingway shot himself in the head. Here's all these different ways to kill yourself in the book. And there's a bullet at the end of each chapter. And the car was called the Bullet because it was shot. So we can call Forrest the Bullet because he was shot by himself. Nobody murdered him. He suicide. It's a crime. What are you going to do? Throw his corpse into the prison? You think he cares if suicide's a crime? Somebody that kills himself, they don't care if suicide's a crime. I've seen people, you watch these police critical incident videos, and there are guys that put their mother in front of them, between them and the cops. They got a knife on their mother, and the cops with guns on the other side. You know, there's crazy people. It's like you can't, you may as well. Oh, they had Australia. That's what we do. We just continue with what Britain did, and we send all the criminals to Australia. We just send them down there to Australia. Yeah, I didn't catch Mario right at the beginning of his thing, and then he was crying about his wife dying. Because I didn't know, something happened. Somebody died or something. I was, was it Davy? No, it was his wife, I guess. So, yeah, it's sad for her. But I don't know. Maybe she thought he was spending too much time with the chase. I don't know. He spent so much time with the chase that he practically left her. Who knows? My significant other is sleeping there on the floor right in front of the stove. A single person go on and do a live stream, and they ain't got nobody. I ain't got nobody to tell me to stop, time to go to bed, nothing. I wish I did. I'd probably sleep normal. I'd probably sleep normal hours. But I ain't got no reason. I'm not tired. Oh, my shoulder hurts. Oh. Uh, that's the other thing. My shoulder is so screwed up. I watch these cop videos. If the cop would just shoot the guy, see what hand the gun is in, and shoot him in that shoulder, he'll drop the gun fast. See, all you can do is hang your arm to the ground with that bicep tendon there. That tendonitis, and it's painful. I think I need to be put in a cast for 6 weeks or something, so that all my tendons reattach to my freaking bones. They cut this bicep tendon, and the other day, this one's okay now, but last week there are mice that get in the ceiling, and I'm laying in bed, and there's a mouse in the ceiling over the bed, doing whatever, And I go up and I go to boom, hit the ceiling with the palm of my hand, and it pulled something. Oh man, it pulled something in that shoulder. It's like, oh fuck, fucking mouse. Them glue strips for the mice. You know what else? You can catch snakes with those too. They can't drag the glue strip back through the hole they came in. They kind of get stuck and shit. And you can't peel them off the glue strip. It was kind of sad, yeah, because the snake that got my glue strip wasn't a poisonous snake. It was a rat snake, a little small rat snake. Yeah, it's one thing when you live out here and shit, out in the middle of a prairie somewhere. A Dutch door is a good idea. Instead of leaving the door open, just leave the top half open. Because that kind of helps keep snakes out of the house. Except if I had a screen door, I'd keep them out too, but they don't. Yeah, and I want to make improvements here, but I don't want to make improvements here if I'm moving to that house. And so it's like I can't prepare to move. I didn't make improvements. So I needed to go away so I can do what I need to do. I'll build, fuck it, I tried to buy a house. I'll just do a GoFundMe. GoFundMe. Probably first I'd do, and then I get this letter from the Water Well Trust. They give you a government loan to put in well and septic only if you already have a house. The county won't let you put in a house unless you have a well and septic. What a worthless program. Somebody that already has a house that doesn't need one, we'll help them, but we won't help you get into a house. If you help me with a well, I'd have no trouble filing my own permits and building my own house. I know the plumbing, the electrical, the carpentry, and all. I know all of it. A septic system, you can go rent the tractor and dig all the holes and get it all ready, get it inspected, put the shit in the ground, get it inspected again, rent the tractor again, and bury it. All I got to do is copy a similar plan. and and I designed a house. It's 1,500 square feet. It is it's octane. It's like 16 sides, and it has a second floor just in the center that pops up. It's kind of like the top of a lighthouse, and it have windows all the way around on that. It's just a 12-foot across room, that's got windows all the way around, so I could see the mountain, the sunset, the sunrise, everything in that room. I'd probably sleep up there. That'd be the place to put the bed, you know. And then you have a curtain. What would you want the curtains to all the way around, go whoop, or have the curtain go and pull all the way around the thing? I don't know. But I was gonna do like the pillars that go up to the top of the second the loft would be logs. I'd find logs, at least 10-inch logs or something, that so it'd be a kind of a log thing. And I think I'd have probably a 1 bedroom downstairs, an office, probably not even 1 bedroom, and the kitchen, living room, dining room is all the rest. I like that, where you can be in the kitchen cooking, and the TV's right behind, right over there, right over your shoulder, or just off to the left or just to the right. So you can cook your dinner and keep watching your movie while you're cooking. Multitask. I do a lot of no tasking. That's laying in bed. It's really good for you. There's a lot of times doctors tell you, go home, get some rest, make you feel better. Did I? I'm trying to remember if I got to do a vitamin B12 shot every month, and I'm trying to remember if I did mine this month yet. I guess I should make a monthly calendar. All I need is 12 dots. Yeah, I could make something. All you do is move it to the last time you did it. Because I always try to do it around the first of the month, but I've been getting like a week into the month. Yeah. And I take a bunch of other B vitamin stuff. I put all my vitamins in this Christmas sock. I mean, my pills and vitamins. But I got one for my nerve pain. I got one for my thyroid. What else do I? That's pretty much it for prescriptions, and then the rest is vitamins. I take acetyl keratin and other things and I take this one that's for a stomach. Is this it? Essential. If you have like Crohn's or digestive problems, you don't absorb all your vitamins and stuff, this helps you absorb vitamins. This stuff, essential. The digestive enzymes, it helps you absorb vitamins and stuff. And I heard something else I was doing really helps with vitamin D and stuff, better than calcium. What's better than calcium is boron. And where do you get boron? From borax, which is a salt with boron in it. And it's not any different than sea salts or, um, uh, Dead Sea salts. People been bathing in it, eating them. But what I got to do, I noticed, like I had dry elbows and stuff. And if I soak my elbows and then clean, then kind of get some moisturize some of that borax, and then scrub that dryness off the elbow. It don't come back for a long time. Elbows are hard. You don't see them, you know. You can't see your elbow except with a mirror or a camera. Okay, I'm almost 4 hours. Nobody's seen me for a long time though. Next time I'll probably have a haircut. I might get a haircut when I go to Denver. No, I'll probably get one here. I gotta find some local girls to flirt with. None of these long distance things. Oh, I love Colorado. Well, come on over. Nope, not gonna show up. All right. Well, take it easy. Have a good one. Adios. Bye bye.